All right, strap in, everyone. Today, we're going deep, really deep, into the mind of Sunny Jetsun,
Sunny Jetsun, yeah.
a poet who, well, he pushes boundaries. Let's just say that. He gets weird, provocative,
Definitely.
even offensive sometimes. We're diving into driving my scooter through the asteroid field, coming down over Venus. Hello, Baba.
Yeah.
His poetry collection.
Quite a title. And he's been doing a lot more than just this one book.
Oh, yeah. He's been around.
30 books of poetry, over 100 paintings, traveled all over this guy.
Lived in India for, what is it, like 16 years now?
16 years. And he always says his daughter is his masterpiece.
Got to respect that.
Yeah.
So, Hello Baba, not exactly your typical poetry reading.
Not at all. It's more like, you're just diving right into his thoughts.
Yeah, stream of consciousness, kind of.
Exactly. Stream of consciousness, no chapters, no clear narrative, just thoughts and emotions all jumbled up.
Like our brains actually work.
Exactly. Jumping from one thing to another, making these weird connections.
And you see that in Hello Baba right away. You'll be reading about, like, capitalism one minute,
Right.
and then a hallucination he had in Nepal the next.
And then something about his daughter.
Yeah, it's jarring. But it keeps you on your toes, that's for sure.
Take you hooked. And I think that's what he's going for. No filter, just pure Sunny Jetsun.
So, under all that chaos, are there any themes we can, like, grab onto?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's got a lot to say about society, politics, war, capitalism, the media.
Yeah, he doesn't hold back.
No, he doesn't. But there's also a lot of personal stuff mixed in. Love, relationships, trying to find your place in the world.
And then there's the whole spiritual side. He's big into Eastern philosophy,
It's
meditation.
toward states of consciousness,
Yeah.
all that. Like, he's trying to understand the whole human experience.
From the everyday to the completely out there.
Yeah, and sometimes he goes to some pretty dark places. We got to talk about how he portrays women.
Yeah, we do. Some
Yeah.
of that language, that imagery,
Yeah.
it's rough. It could be seen as misogynistic even.
Definitely. And it's something that makes you stop and think, how do you reconcile that with his supposed respect for women?
Because he does say he respects women.
He does. Maybe it's a shock tactic to make you confront some uncomfortable truths about how women are treated.
Like, he's not celebrating it, but he's forcing us to see it.
Exactly. It's
Awesome.
risky. It could backfire. But it's in line with his whole approach, right? Push buttons, make people uncomfortable.
Wake people up.
Yeah. Make them face the stuff we usually try to ignore.
And then there's his stance on drugs, which, let's be honest, is pretty out there.
He says there's no bad drugs, just bad brains.
Right. And he brings up some science to back that up. Like that chart, what's it, Professor Nutt's drug table?
Professor Nutt, yeah. Really interesting research. Ranked drugs based on how harmful they actually are.
And alcohol and tobacco are up there.
Way up there. Higher than like LSD or ecstasy.
So Jessen's point is, we're making judgments about drugs based on fear, not facts.
He's pushing for a more informed approach.
Yeah.
More responsible.
Still pretty controversial stance.
Definitely. He's not afraid to shake things up. Make us question what we think we know.
And that's another thing, he's not a big fan of technology.
Oh, yeah. He's worried about AI, how it's changing us.
Yeah, he gets disconnected.
From each other, from the natural world. Like, we're becoming slaves to our
That's
devices.
some bleak picture he paints sometimes.
Yeah, but he's also saying, hey, wake up. You're not just a cog in the machine. You can choose something different.
So we've got all these critiques of society, these spiritual explorations. Then you've got the personal stuff, the controversial stuff. It's a lot to take in.
It is. And it all comes together to create this really unique experience. He's taking us on a journey.
Into his mind, basically.
Exactly. And making us confront our own assumptions, our own dark sides, too.
Sounds like a wild ride.
It is.
Well, let's buckle up and see where it takes us.
It's a wild ride. And it takes you to some, like, really surreal places.
Oh, yeah. Talk about surreal. That's one of the things that really grabs you about Jetson's writing, right?
Mhm.
That imagery.
Definitely. Vivid. Like, you're hallucinating right along with him.
And those images stick with you.
They do.
Like, I still can't get over driving my scooter through an asteroid field. What the heck does that even mean?
Who knows?
Or the Estonian spaceship has landed. Where does he come up with this stuff?
Maybe he spent a little too long in those Himalayan caves.
Right. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? It's not about, like, figuring out the exact meaning.
No. It's about the feeling, the disorientation, that sense of wonder. Like, whoa, what is even real?
The absurdity of it all.
Yeah. He takes language and, like, bends it until it breaks.
It's like you're in a dream. You don't know what's real and what's not.
Exactly. That blurring of the lines. Conscious, subconscious, rational, irrational.
And he mixes it all up, too. Like, you'll have Buddhist philosophy right next to some pretty graphic descriptions.
Sex, drugs, the whole 9 yards.
It's a lot to process.
But it's intentional. He's breaking down those categories we put things in. Good, bad. Holy, unholy. Spiritual, material.
It's not that simple.
It's not. It's messy. Contradictory. Full of darkness and light.
Jetsun's showing us all of it, the good, the bad, and the just plain weird.
He's not holding anything back.
And that's what makes his work so, I don't know, refreshing. Like, he doesn't care what people think. He's just being himself.
Totally. And speaking of not holding back, there's one poem that really got to me. Judges releasing 2 suspects in the death of Scarlett Keating.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Heavy stuff, based on a real case he saw in Goa.
Yeah, a young woman killed. And the guys who did it, they just walked free.
He's outraged, and you can feel it in every line.
The anger, the grief you feel for that woman, for Jetsun, for everyone who's ever been let down by the system.
He's not just talking about justice in some abstract way. This is real. This is personal. This is someone's life.
It's like poetry is not just about pretty words, you know. It can be a weapon, a way to fight back.
To give a voice to those who don't have one. And that's what he's doing here. He's demanding justice for Scarlett Keating.
And it's not just about this one case. It's about all the ways power gets abused, how the innocent get hurt.
He's saying, don't just sit there. Speak up. Fight back, even when it feels impossible.
And he does it all with this, like, mix of rage and tenderness, humor and sadness. It shouldn't work, but it does.
Because it's real. It's honest. It's him.
So we've got this unconventional style, these controversial themes, the social commentary, those crazy images. Where does it all lead? What's the point of all this?
I think Jetsun's trying to be a provocateur, a truth teller. He wants us to question everything.
To think for ourselves.
To be more aware, more compassionate.
And to remember that life's a trip. A weird, messy, beautiful trip.
And maybe if we can embrace that weirdness, you know, find the humor in it all, then we can really start living.
That Hallo Baba spirit.
Yeah, that spark of defiance, that willingness to take risks, to step outside the lines.
Forge your own path.
And to remember that we're not alone in this. We're all in this together, riding our scooters through the asteroid field.
Looking for meaning in the chaos.
And if we can connect with each other, share our stories, support each other.
Maybe we can make it through
Maybe.
that image, the scooter through the asteroid field. It just keeps coming back to me.
It's perfect, isn't it? For his work, I mean.
For life, even.
Yeah, totally. There's that, like, sense of danger.
Recklessness. You could crash at any second.
You're free. You're on your own terms.
Like, screw it. Let's go. Even if we crash and burn, at least we went out doing our own thing.
And that's, I don't know, it's inspiring, isn't it? To let go of control like that.
To embrace the uncertain.
To trust that even if you fall, you'll get back up.
And maybe that's what Hello Baba is trying to tell us, right? It's not about having all the answers.
It's about asking the questions, the right question.
Challenging what everyone else thinks.
Embracing the mess, the good and the bad.
Because that's life. A crazy, unpredictable ride.
Yeah. And finding that Hallo Baba spirit, that's what matters.
That spark, that willingness to go your own way.
To look at the world and say, screw your rules, I'm doing it my way.
And knowing deep down that we're all in this together. We're all riding our scooters.
Dodging those asteroids.
Trying to find our own way.
And if we can connect, you know, share our experiences, help each other out.
Maybe we can make it through. Together.
Maybe we can.
So to everyone listening, keep those helmets on, your eyes open, and most importantly, your hearts open too. Embrace the chaos. Don't be afraid to question things. And never, ever lose that Hallo Baba spirit.
It's what keeps us going.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Sunny Jetsun, the man, the myth, the legend.
The scooter rider.
We hope you got something out of it, that you'll check out his work, maybe find a little Hallo Baba in your own life.
Until next time, keep those scooters running. The asteroid field's waiting.
And we'll be right here with you, exploring it all. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the absurd. It's all part of the ride.